Hey guys, T here. Today I got to look at the new Tier 7 Premium Soviet Destroyer Kutuzov. Uh, Kunetsov on the screen there. I got Rue, I got Norm Scott. If you look at the build, it's spec'd out for long range sniping. I got it perk 4 on the ship. I got the range mod, slot 1 on Kunetsov's build. Again, boosting the range. That's not typically how I run most of my cruisers, but it works for this ship, and we'll explain why as this goes on. You probably saw the thumbnail. This is an extremely high damage game. This is my 5th game in this ship. Normally I like to play about 10 games or so in these premiums before I do a early impressions video like this one. But I think I got the hang of it. You know, the sky's the limit for this thing, and it's only going to go up. 4 games in, I got 140k damage. I'm like, okay, this thing ain't too bad. And then this game, we blow that out of the water. And somehow my team manages to lose, which is just absolutely incredible. So what's going on with the Kutuzov? You got smokes. Obviously, you got sonar. The sonar, in my opinion, is to protect yourself while you're sitting in smoke. Again, long-range sniper, 19.1 kilometers on my build. And flat firing arcs with good velocity. Fairly easy to hit shots, even at max range. We'll see some fairly long shots in this game as the game goes on here. Very nice, you know, it's 8-second reload on my build, not boosted by the slot 4 mod, which you can boost that. 14% fire chance. We got, 12 guns firing. So this thing starts a lot of fires. The fire chance can only go up. You could put a boost in slot 1 if you wanted to, and slot 2, as I level that one up, that'll go up by about another %. So this ship is capable of more than we're showing here. Rue, I only have him at level 11. We could squeeze out another, who knows, 1 or 2%, somewhere in that range, more HE damage per hit. So even though this game ends up being a really high damage game, I think as the build evolves and matures due to progression of the commanders, had this same exact game been played, the damage would have been maybe, I don't know, 25k, 30k higher, whatever it is, just due to boosting what we're trying to boost, which is HE damage. This is an HE spammer. I don't think I shoot any AP in this game. I've tested the AP out. It's not bad. You know, if you get close range, you know, within 10 kilometers broadside, you can try firing some AP into it. But these are 152 millimeter guns, same as the Edinburgh. And then, you know, all the other Tier 7 cruisers, of course, have 203s, at least of the ones that we have so far. I already got an arsonist medal on that poor Amagi. And this ship is the absolute terror of these battleships that like to sit at max range and just shoot shots every 30 seconds. Because the people that play it that way, you almost always are going to have the Axie builds. The Axie builds, of course, have an enhanced fire chance to that player's ship. So, in addition to our already decent fire chance and the high rate of fire, which we're going to get a lot of fires of, if you're targeting these battleships that have that Axie build built into it, they're going to burn all day long. It's just crazy. You know, we got an arsonist already. Witherers coming up. Strap yourselves in. But yeah, I mean, this thing punishes the long-range battleship, you know, player, and that's fine. We've had enough of the long-range battleships just sitting in the back doing nothing. Again, if you have 19.1 range on this thing, you can outrange a lot of battleships. Like, I don't typically spec my battleships out for max range, but the way I have them spec'd out right now, my Iowa's 19.1. I think Amagi and Richelieu are 19. This thing's 19.1, so if everyone's running identical builds to me, there's only one battleship that can match the range at this thing. And it gives you a lot of room to work with. You can see the blue circle compared to the white circle. Normally I run my cruisers with a full concealment build. I do have concealment in the mod 3 on this particular game at least. And but due to the really long range that we're building in this ship, you still get a nice buffer where that's kind of the same width between the blue and the white circles that you get on a concealment build. But we're affecting that by working on the opposite end of the spectrum, which is by increasing the range rather than the concealment. And here, we're just switching off on these guys. Start a fire on one, let him damage con, start a firing the other guy, let him damage con. Then we'll just flip back and forth. Whoever's being spotted, we'll just keep burning them down. These guys are gonna, you know, fry to a crisp. And basically what this thing needs is something to spot for him. If you can get in a division with a destroyer who's willing to spot for you and not play like a complete goober, this thing can do so much damage to the enemy team. And you know, if you play it smartly, there's not a lot they can really do. What I'm more focused on in terms of getting spotted right now is my eastern flank. You can see those cruisers, and now we actually do get spotted, so we can tell they're moving in. I can't spot them yet, of course, but they can spot me. But prior to them moving into that position, I can just bomb on these two battleships, and we're using islands that I don't play, or this one you can play with, but there's going to be some maps where there's islands that you don't typically utilize. That this ship can use just due to the reach, at least, again, if you're speccing out like I am and kind of going for that long-range build. But, you know, why I put this build together, looking at it, doing some research, I mean, you got these really nice flat firing arcs that these are actually fairly easy to hit targets at long range. I do have Norm Scott, which tightens up the accuracy, and that kind of really comes into play at long range. And then, you know, we do have slot 4 on the Kutuzov build, also increases the accuracy of the guns as well. So everything about the build, everything about the philosophy that I've been playing this way, or this ship so far, it's just all about long range sniping. If you're really struggling at aiming and you can't hit shots, this is probably not going to work out. It's probably going to be a pretty tough ship in that case to play, but if your aim is true and you can utilize cover and you can utilize your teammates as spotters and keep yourself alive for long stretches of the game, damage like this doesn't seem to be that uncommon, frankly. Very weak. You know, I haven't gotten dev struck yet, but I got, you know, I took one salvo to the side that was probably about 35k damage, I think, from sniping Richelieu or something like that. That hit me with a good shot. Citadel seems pretty exposed. You know, I haven't shot against these yet, but just playing it, that's my impression. Haven't seen an armor view from the PC. Those of you that have can confirm or deny, but the Citadel at least seems pretty big. I don't think it's well armored, and the armor in general, if you're getting shot in the side, you're going to have a bad time. If you're getting shot in general, that's just really not what this thing is designed to do. It's kind of trading everything. Maneuverability, armor, concealment for raw offensive power. So the key is staying alive, utilizing that raw offensive power. And games like this, again, I've only played 5 games or so, but 2 of them have been over 140 already. And I suspect that's not the cap. You know, we're going to get higher damage games than this for sure. I alluded to the maneuverability being somewhat suspect. 33 knots on the water, that's on the slower end. It's actually tied for, well, no, the Baltimore I got 32.5 on my builds. So almost tied for the slowest. 760 turning circle, not quite as bad as the Otago, but other than that, it's the highest at the tier. Rudder shift, 6.5, not great, but not horrible. That's kind of middle of the pack. And that hasn't been touched by any mods. I got prop mod on slot 2, concealment 3, aiming systems 1, range boosters slot 4, since everyone always asks me my builds. That's the full build there. So the 6.5 is decent, but due to the large turning circle, it's not really an open water type of dodging type of a ship. Certain situations you're going to have to play it that way. There's a bit of a gap between the smoke charges, so if you do get caught in the open, you're going to have to kite away and dodge until you can get out of range and protect yourself that way. But, you know, the maneuverability is not great. Concealment, again, I haven't really spec'd out for it, but I got 12.5 detection range. It would probably still be the highest, even if I put Macau on that, and there's the Witherer. Whatever, it would be kind of irrelevant with the build philosophy again. We don't need to really rely on our concealment playing at max range like this. So it does have torps as well, 2x5s, 14,400 damage, kind of middle of the pack there. 8 kilometer range isn't too bad. 60 knots in the water isn't horrible, it's not great. So the torps, I've only had one chance to fire them. Again, you're not using this philosophy, assuming I stick with this. I don't foresee using the torps quite a lot. There's going to be certain situations where you're getting rushed or whatever. You're going to have to use them defensively. Or you might find yourself being in a position to ambush someone, using them that way. But firing at someone 19.1 kilometers away, your 8 kilometer torps aren't really going to be coming into play too often. So my impressions, this ship kicks ass. It's probably going to be difficult to play if you're not very good at cruisers. I've been trying to get you guys to be good at cruisers for months now because I told you they're already the strongest class, and ships like this, and I presume the Russian nation is going to be strong up and down the board. We'll find out here in the next week or so. But this is the proof right here. You need to get good at cruisers if you want to fully enjoy this game. Let's just put it that way. Here I'm trying to decide which side to support. You know, again, my team kind of melted here, which is a little bit unfortunate. But yeah, going into the update, the rumor was kind of the Russian cruisers should be solid. The Kutuzov should be solid. I can confirm the second rumor is definitely true. Is there a Russian bias? I don't know. I'll report back to you once we grind up the full line. But those of you that like cruisers and understand how to play them, you're going to be having a lot of fun in the ship. I'm about 90% sure that this is the highest damage I've done on a cruiser. I don't recall doing over 200 before. And again, I've only played 5 games in this thing, so we'll see what kind of damage this thing is truly capable of. It would not surprise me if a bunch of you guys have already had over 200 as well. The ship, if you get in the right situation and teammates that will spot for you, and you got a few battleships on the other team to shoot at, you know, the sky's the limit in terms of damage. So that's a look at the Kutuzov for you guys. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. There's always a lot of World of Warships coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave them below. Let me know how the update's treating you. And we'll see y'all later. All right, peace.